earlier on in these videos, to anybody who hasn't watched all of them, I I said I would make a promise and try to see every certified fresh film on Rotten Tomatoes. Um, and because of that, I've seen some movies this year that I haven't, I normally wouldn't have gone seen, which are I can off the top of my head, the three I could think or the four I could think of are Side Effects, Warm Bodies, The Croods, and Spring Breakers. Um, Spring Breakers, but and I really liked. I'm kind of glad I did because I ended up really liking Side Effects, and it's still one of my favorite films of the year. Um, and I said when I started doing this, I said, eventually I think I'm gonna go and I mean, eventually I'll get into a movie. I know for sure I'll get into a movie that I absolutely disagree with the critics with, in which I absolutely disagree with Rotten Tomatoes. And I think I found my movie. Found that movie. Um, I went and saw Epic. Epic sucked. I'm not gonna lie. Epic sucked. Um, I should have been worried because this movie has gotten it's at a 61%. It's barely certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes, and I should have been worried a little bit. Uh, Mainly, one of the reasons I should have been worried is because one of my favorite review sites, CinemaSnob.com, who Brad Jones and at CinemaSnob.com. You never been on the website? Go see them. They're great reviewers. He's a great reviewer. He knows a lot more about movies than I do. And I could only wish to be as good as they are as internet reviewers. They do this series where they go on their website. Brad Jones, the main reviewer, and his friends go to midnight screenings of every movie. It started off in 2011 when they only did the summer movies, which released their local theater basically did uh, midnight screenings for every summer movie, and throughout the years they've continued to do it, including this year where they've had a midnight screening for every week, which is happening in our movie theater too, my movie theater too. But they did a review for Epic recently, and it wasn't very pleasant. I stayed away from the review so that it wouldn't cloud my judgment for this movie. And I kind of at the same time was like, well, I don't always agree with them, as most critics. I don't always agree with every critic. In this, I don't always agree with them at the same time. Uh, they gave a horrible rating to Hangover Part 3, and I was kind of pretty nice to that movie compared to them. But I was still, had some expectations. But God, this movie sucked. I know I'm not the target audience. I know that. I'm not a kid. I'm not the target audience. But I think a critic put it best when it said anybody who's older than 7 or 10, older than 7, is not gonna like this movie. Even parents, and they are correct. I will go into this. I will say this. There were a couple positives of this movie, and I'll get into them right now. The positives. Main positive was that this movie was a beautiful looking movie. They did a lot. This movie was great. The animation was great. The animation was superb. The 3D was really good. I'm glad I saw this in 3D and not 2D. So at least I got to see it 3D, and it looked pretty. And the action sequences in this movie looked really pretty and everything else. And the 3D helped those action sequences. I thought that some of the designs in the movie were pretty good. Mainly the villains, the rotting people or whatever, were pretty creepy looking. I liked the look of them, and I even like some. I thought Christoph Waltz was fine, maybe one of the better parts as the villain, because I'm a guy who likes Christoph Waltz. Uh, and no, let's get into the negatives. Well, that's it for the positives. That's it. The negatives. I could give a flying rat's ass about this. What was going on in this movie? I was bored to death. This is a boring movie. I mean, literally, this is really boring. I could not give two shits of what was going on. I was not invested at all. And one of the reasons why is because you could tell by the actors' voices that they didn't give a shit about what was going on. They could care less. They didn't put any energy or at all into their voices. Of the characters they put their voices to. There was almost no effort. You could tell that they were just didn't give a shit. I mean, literally, you could tell in a lot of scenes, like the way they were acting, that they couldn't give two shits. And so why should I give a shit? Can't give a shit. And plus, the story is boring. It's basically Fern Gully and Avatar, and I don't know what else. Yeah, Fern Gully and Avatar. That's about freaking it. That's basically what it is. And then they also have like stupid choices like casting like Beyonce as the queen and Steven Tyler as a singing, dancing, basically being Steven Tyler. And oh Jesus, this movie was bad. But the one thing, you know what? The one main thing, and I think that this has been pointed out a lot in the bad reviews, that was really bad, was the snails. The snail and the slug. I can't fucking remember their name, but I know one was Aziz Ansari, and I can't remember who else the other guy was. I like Aziz Ansari. I've seen him. I liked him in Parks and Recreation. I've seen him in good stuff before, but Jesus Christ, those characters were terrible. They were really bad. I mean, they were the lowest common denominator of comic reliefs I've ever seen. They were terrible. They were annoying. I hated every time they were on screen. I wanted them to die. I literally wanted them to die. There was no romance chemistry between Amanda Seyfried's character and Josh Hutcherson's character at any point, too, by the way. That was another thing. But, yeah, that was another thing. Like, you're supposed to believe that they fell in love, but it just comes out of freaking nowhere when they do. But that was, like I said, that was one of the main things, but I kind of just lost track. The Aziz Ansari slug snail character, I can't remember the other guy's name. I didn't even bother looking his name up. I know it's somebody I've seen before, but Jesus Christ, were they bad. That was terrible. It was like the worst comic relief characters some of the really worst comic relief characters in animation history. Some of the in animated films I've ever seen. Even the kids in the audience didn't even seem to really liking this movie. I've been in kids' movies where kids are enjoying themselves. They're laughing along with the movie. They're going along, getting along with it. I had heard not one laugh during this movie. Not one. They didn't seem like the kid. Well, there was a kid when I was walking out that said he really enjoyed the movie. He wanted to see it again. They're like, "Oh, we'll wait." His parents were like, "We'll wait until it comes on TV." Yeah, I don't blame me again. I don't blame you guys. I don't want to pay another $11 to see this crap. Yeah, I guess I got to. I should. I guess this is what I got to look forward to because my sister's about to have a baby, and so I'm gonna have a niece or nephew, and so I'm probably gonna be I'm gonna be the uncle that takes their niece or nephew to movies, and I'll be able to see some of this crap. So I have this to look forward to in the future. Yay. God, I did not like this movie. But the one kid as I was walking out of the theater, was saying he liked the movie. It's something about he's like, I said, I don't want to be small. I want to be big. I kind of felt bad for a little kid. And his dad kept telling him, well, you're going to eventually be bigger than I am. Which was funny. I laughed at that conversation. That was the most I laughed at. I did not laugh once during this movie. Oh God, I laughed more than I did at Hangover Part 3 than I did this. Uh, all, even the crowd. Yeah, at one point. Um, by the way, speaking of something about crowds, at one point I had a lady. They played their advertisements in the movie theater, and somebody they had their advertisement to say please silence your cell phone. I when the previews or like the commercials are going, I kind of look for my phone real quick and check anything before the movie starts. And I heard, as soon as that advertisement was over, I heard the lady yell in the background, yeah, did you hear that? I hope that bitch wasn't talking to me. I really hope she wasn't talking to me. I was about to say, really? I kind of pulled out my phone a couple times just on purpose because because I was annoyed and I just did not care two shits about this movie. I could just look at my phone and watch something on YouTube or something, and just it'd probably be more entertaining than this movie. I will say this: as much as I didn't like this movie, I think more. The thing is that this movie just was not interesting whatsoever, and it didn't. As angry as I seem, it didn't cause a more angry reaction than it didn't cause a angrier reaction than I had when I saw Die Hard 5, which is the worst film I've seen this year so far. I don't know what's gonna beat it. But yeah, God, this movie was bad. But it wasn't as bad as Die Hard 5. I guess that's another positive. I wasn't as angry about it as it was Die Hard 5, but this movie was bad. I did get a couple previews. I try to mention previews because I hate this movie enough. I want to talk more about the previews. They got a good couple previews. I got Despicable Me 2 trailer that I keep getting, which is funny enough has Al Pacino's name still on it, even though he just left the film like 2 months before the movie was supposed to come out. What an Al Pacino, I don't understand him. I like the idea of him being the villain in this movie, and Al Pacino said no to this, but didn't say no to Jack and Jill. I think he needs to recheck his career, man. I don't know. I love Al Pacino, but man, he needs to get his head on straight. I saw, oh God, it's got Smurfs too. Jesus Christ! Hopefully, I would venture to guess this is not getting a certified fresh. Not gonna become certified fresh Smurfs too, so I don't have to worry about seeing this crap. And my niece or nephew don't come until November, so I don't have to see this crap. I did see the first one. I'm not gonna see the second one. Turbo, which actually looks kind of funny about a snail who gets sucked into like an engine and becomes really fast or something. Kind of looks funny. Ryan Reynolds is voicing it. I don't know what the hell. I got very little previews. Oh, Monsters University, new trailer for Monsters University, which actually looked really good. I'm really looking forward to that. I didn't realize it was going to be G, which is interesting. I thought it would be at least PG. It's one of the few Pixar movies that is rated G, which is interesting. Oh, speaking of Pixar, I found out before I saw this Epic that Pixar originally had the rights to Epic. We're trying to get the rights to Epic. I would think this movie would be a lot better if Pixar was given a movie instead of Fox, the same company that's done Ice Age movies and stuff like that. I would think they would do a lot better and got more better casting than Fox did. Pixar, actually, even almost any Pixar movie I've liked, even freaking Cars 2, I didn't hate. But anyways, yeah, don't go see Epic. Don't. There's a lot more better out there. For the love of God, go see anything. I'll be back. I'm gonna turn this video off, and I'll be back with another review because I saw 2 movies today. I didn't say that at the beginning of the video, but yeah, I saw 2 movies today, and I'll be back talking about the second movie I saw today.